You don't want to use hearing impaired, you can just say deaf. That's not a bad word. Actually, their identity, they love that.
Welcome to Disability Clinic, where the learning never stops.
Captain Wawa, Stargate Law, don't care. Pandemic, I'm in loose in air. Where's my
I would love to hear more stories from sort of the medical setting and your experience as a medical interpreter. Like, have you had like really good experiences with providers and patients sort of navigating communication, or maybe situations where you feel like things could be better? Like, have you found healthcare providers to be like overall pretty savvy working with ASL interpreters?
I would say 75-25. 75% really are willing to work. I think it's just because it's a medical setting and everybody's goal is to make sure one is healthy or living the best quality of life that they could possibly be living. And I think that plays a part into providing communication for that, because the communication aspect is important. If you don't understand what you need to do for your body, it's just going to deteriorate. You know what I mean? So I find a lot of providers are willing to provide access. Now, some providers in the more smaller settings aren't willing to provide the access to its maximum ability. They try to do the bare minimum. But overall, it's always a warm feeling going into those settings. It's like, oh, providers don't have to thank interpreters for coming. But a lot of providers will say, thank you for coming. It's such a wonderful thing to hear, because now I understand this person really wanted me here. They really want this person to have access. And that really warms my heart. So those are the touchy feelies why I love medical. You know what I mean? Also, I'm learning a lot of this stuff too. Like, oh, okay. All right. You know, it's every situation I kind of learn myself. Sometimes they're talking to this person, but they're pointing a finger at me.
Did you have to take sort of a specific medical ASL vocabulary course?
Yes and no, and I'm not finished.
Ah, okay.
This is
Work in progress.
So us as interpreters, we're required to do professional development all year pretty much, because they ask you to accumulate so many credits that it's really going to take you all year to do it, and you should put a time aside to get better in your respective field. You know, so sometimes I have to do medical workshops. Sometimes I have to do just overall workshops for universities, or platform interpreting, or interpreting for accountants. You know, it's different kind of workshops. Science interpreting, it's big. You have to stay educated.
Yeah. It's like a lifelong learning type of career. Same with medicine in general.
You don't get all of the signs either. Just because you've been doing it 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you're still going to learn some new ways to say something. Because some of those signs you learned 50 years ago, they don't even use today. A lot of those signs 50 years ago was finger spelling a lot. Nobody wants to watch a finger speller all day. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I actually recently learned from one of my favorite deaf content creators, Raven, Blue Jay. She did a little short on how the word for Black people recently evolved because it was only the color, whereas, you know, other races like white had sort of white for people versus white for the color. And so I was surprised to hear how recent that language evolved in ASL, that sign. So instead of the color Black, she shows that, that it's with the whole hand. I loved that because it was like, okay, that's more humanizing, right? We want to kind of do justice to the sign and the people that the sign's referring to. But again, it was more of like, okay, why hadn't this been in place for so long?
Yeah, also people still fighting, you know? People
right. It's like these conversations are always evolving, and, you know, language is always up for debate, I guess.
I remember it was a time people called deaf people deaf mute, deaf and dumb. They got rid of that and said, oh, we'll replace that with deaf disabled or hearing impaired. People don't even use that anymore. No. There's no deaf disabled. There's no hearing impaired. Just use deaf, you know?
Right. Capital D.
Still evolving, though.
Yeah.
Because you still have to remind people like, hey, you don't want to use hearing impaired. You can just say deaf. That's not a bad word. Actually, their identity, they love that. You know?
Yeah, that's something I teach when I give lectures to like medical students or residents or colleagues. I have a list of sort of like commonly used but outdated words, terminology, and hearing impaired and vision impaired are on this sort of like, try not to say that sign. It's not really what the community likes to focus on. You know, just say deaf, hard of hearing, blind or low vision. And it's like, it's just so important from a healthcare standpoint. It's like, we want to use the most inclusive language so that we're really minimizing the risk of offending someone or, excluding someone. We have to just keep checking in with the community and seeing, like,
doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
It hurts to get educated. It does. Now, if this person gets upset because you asked to be educated, then that's their problem.
Yeah.
Did the right thing. That's just how I approach it. Just ask, because sometimes body language. The doctor's looking at me, telling me about this person. I'm not his caretaker. Look directly at them and talk. Things like that. So
I know, and it seems so basic, and every healthcare provider wants to think, "Oh, I'm not that person," but it's like, the number of times I've heard patients tell me stories about it, it's like, no, we have to be accountable and remind ourselves and our colleagues diplomatically. It's like, we just got to center our patients, right? Like,
there's nothing wrong with saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that," and I'll be more mindful.
Right. If anything, that's the right way to.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Like, it's gonna happen.
It will. It will. Even I mess up sometimes. Actually, yesterday I was at an event and my phone rang and I picked it up and I started talking. I'm in a room full of deaf people.
Faux pas.
What are you doing? And I know this. I grew up in it, but slipped up. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Leave, get out. And I just got out, left out, right away. I need to take the call. I can't stop what I have. There's ways to do it. You know what I mean? I'm still going to be hearing. I can't control that. But to pay respects to my community is always in the front of my mind. And I want to provide that space for them often.
Do you have any favorite representations of deafness, ASL, or CODAs in like the media?
I love everything CODA. I am a strong CODA advocate. CODA this, CODA that. My favorite CODA would be Trevor.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match.
There's another CODA. His name is Billy Sanders. Very, very highly intelligent interpreter. He always reaches back and brings up other young interpreters who are coming behind him. Those are my two favorite CODAs. My favorite deaf is Wawa. Because he's like old school, Wild Zappers. Used to be a deaf group called Wild Zappers. He was one of the leaders in that group, amongst other ones who are just as famous as him, but he's like taking it to another level. But I love all of them, all the Wild Zappers, all of them.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check them out, and we'll link them down in the description. Did you see the movie CODA?
I did.
What did you think of that?
It made me cry.
Like a good cry?
Yeah, like a good cry, some bad cry. It really showed the life of a CODA.
I've never done anything without my family before.
All that I need to get by.
And I don't know the words in English, but it's very basic, like just scratching the surface
level. Got it.
Things that we experience as CODAs. Yeah, sometimes our parents do doubt us, but at the same time, they'll need us. You know what I mean? And sometimes we're just not deaf enough, but most times we are the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? Like my kid, my CODA son, my CODA daughter, at the same time she's hearing,
I love that you address both sides, because, not being deaf enough or not being disabled enough, like to a certain extent, it makes you feel unwelcome or like you don't belong. But at the same time, because you grew up within the community, around the culture. I feel like it would be shocking for someone on the outside to hear that, someone with your background sometimes felt like they didn't belong, but that is a very real, very common experience.
Not only with children of deaf adults. Think of that immigrant couple that moved to America and had a child in America, and now their child is Americanized, don't have too many values from the homeland, and it's like, you're too American. That kid takes that like, but I was born here, I can't control it. But at the same time, hey, tell me what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
like because they take care of you, they've raised you, they provided, a home for you, and they kiss on you, but there's still those little lines that they're like, nope, you can't come in here,
Yeah. I think the theme that keeps coming up is like, we have to embrace our differences. And it's like, we can still be family, we can still be community, even though we're different.
Yeah.
And I love the approach of like, you don't have to be anything enough to be my ally or my friends. I wish more people had that take, but
I just think it's because in the home I grew up in. My mother's Black, my father's Iranian. I grew up. I'm an '80s baby.
Me too.
America and Iran. How in the '80s?
There, yeah.
Because they're deaf. They had this. They just talk to each other. We can still be community in spite of differences. It doesn't matter. Just accept that person has that, and what can I do to help you? What can I do to be a part of your community?
I love that approach. Yeah, I'm always about, what do you need? Like, what do you need to get through this doctor's appointment? What do you need to understand your health better? Like, that's the bottom line always. What else should I pick your brain about? Is there anything else you want to share or plug?
I don't know. I'm such an open book. I'm involved in so much. I'm there. I told you about I'm sponsoring the CODAs to go to camp. I do that. This is going to be my second year doing that. And I think that's very important. I come from a very, very poor family. And sometimes people don't realize how pricing puts people out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just how much you charge for it says who you want to come.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I knew nothing about CODA camps because my mom knew the price. She understood, you can't go. I can't pay.
You didn't have access.
No access. You can block access by pricing out of a group of people's range. They don't make this, so they will price it at this. So now we're getting certain type of people to come in. You see that in everything. I don't want it to seem like, oh, that just happens between Blacks and whites. No, that happens in business and everything. Everything has its we're here and you're there type thing. And we'll price it like that too. So when I first went to a CODA retreat, I was amazed. There was a lot of CODAs in there that were doing better than me in life, that wanted to be my friend, that could possibly give me guidance or, be a mentor to me. I saw a whole cycle that could happen that others didn't see. They were just trying to get the money to come in and say, we went to this camp. I saw you guys bring people in from this to this. And then when they get to the adults, you still have retreats and things like that where we're networking, exchanging information, keeping us in the loop. Hey, you want to be interpreted in the White House? Come on over here. You want to be interpreted in the Capitol? Come on over here. Exchanging that information at these places. And I automatically thought back to my childhood, which was so rough. I made a lot of bad decisions. And I thought, what if I would have had a CODA who was a professional in whatever area they're in, and I had to look up to that instead of the drug dealer guy on the corner who's nothing like me, but I need to be like them because my home is different from this. But if I had somebody that was playing both sides and understood how to navigate the deaf world and the hearing world, and understand that you're not cursed because you have deaf parents, I probably, who knows what would have happened. I'm not blaming it on that, but I just saw how I, instead of complaining about what could have happened, actually take up arms and do something about it.
Sounds like you became the role model that you knew would have made a big difference for you. That's amazing.
I definitely tried to, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're doing it. That's amazing. And is there like a foundation or sort of like a place that people can kind of check out your work and support you?
Right now, I haven't established my own 501c3 yet. I just have CODA Adventures, but I'm partnering with CODAs of Color. They come from out of New York. And every year they have a camp where they take I think last year was 25 kids. And we go to different campgrounds, which we're looking for one now, different campgrounds, and just stay. And we do fun things. Last year we did swimming, hiking, taught them how to cook. We taught them how to paper mache.
Yeah, typical camp stuff. That sounds like fun.
Week worth of stuff. It was very intimate. It wasn't like we're sleeping outside. They had trailers there. So maybe 6 kids stay in this house and 6 kids stay in this house with a camp advisor. Then we will all meet up at dinner and have one big dinner and just let them be themselves. Because a lot of CODAs, we're responsible for our parents in a way. We have to be the accountant. We have to be the person who remembers to pay the bills. We have to be the interpreter for everything. And that gives those kids an opportunity to get away from that. Some come from very, very dangerous neighborhoods where they're looking to get into that mess. And we're trying to, hey, come on, just get away from it for a week. Maybe it'll change your life.
Yeah. Enjoy your childhood.
Yeah, enjoy being a child. Yes, yes. A lot of us didn't. You know, a lot of us didn't.
I'm so glad you're doing that work, and I'm so happy to support that. I think you're on the board of CODAs of Color.
Yes, I am on the board of CODAs of Color.
Very nice.
I am on the board. It's amazing. It's a very rewarding thing to fight and get the small wins that might not be very big, but those small wins are going to lead to something later, you know?
I think of it as a win. It's like if you've reached one person and you've made a positive change in their life, in their day, like you can celebrate that. Like we need as much of that as we can get right now.
Yes, we do.
In the education space, right? I'm in academic medicine. Yes, I am clinical and I have patients, but I'm also trying to teach colleagues about disability consciousness and accessibility. Do you have any tips or tricks or advice for me or anyone out there who's trying to further this mission?
I think everyone does their best, right? But I also want everyone to understand that your best can get better. You may think you're human, but you can be even more human. So with that, I would just say, just keep working to be better, ensuring that you're tapping more in with your human self. Sometimes we have to pay attention to the bottom line. Sometimes we have a lot of other things out of our control that we just sometimes have to ignore it for a minute. You know what I mean? And be human. If you have those two things, that will spark something in you that maybe you can be a part of the fight or be a part of the advocacy. Or I just think being more open-minded, willing to be educated. There's deaf clinicians out there. Find them. They'll give you better advice than I can.
Yeah, we need more of them. We need more of them.
Connect you with some if you need.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
I know a couple, but it's like I'm always happy to expand my network and get more perspectives.
Yeah.
And lift up and show this representation, right? We know that this is a problem in modern medicine. Even doctors with disabilities are significantly underrepresented. Trainees with disabilities are underrepresented. So love to feature more.
One more thing I want to put, because you said modern medicine, and this is so true. Along with that human thing, don't lean on a computer to help you be human. Some people aren't willing to get an in-person interpreter. It's very rare to have us available, but most deaf people need that human experience. You're bringing up this Marty machine sometimes isn't the best thing. Humanize yourself. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's obviously great in-person interpreters that are available. You just need to realize how easy it is to access them or make it easier to access them.
Yeah. Because you can't access them. Sometimes it's just the agency that you're dealing with maybe doesn't have enough interpreters under their belt, you know? And
then you got to switch agencies because that's not
Find the agency who's in your field. And most hospitals, their upper management knows that. Their administration, they know who to go get.
And it's one of those things, it's like the ADA, it's been law for 30 plus years, but still it's so hard to enforce or bring consequences when institutions like hospitals or clinics are not meeting the standard. And it still requires people who are being marginalized and discriminated against to bring a lawsuit against some huge institution to perhaps make a difference and get their rights. And, I feel like that needs to change. Like, that's still a huge
You still have hospitals who won't provide 24-hour interpreting.
And it's like
24 hours. Nobody says, all right, from 9 to 4, you can listen.
Yeah.
From 4 to the next morning, no. We won't talk.
No complaints.
Nothing. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, you still have big hospitals who will not provide in-person interpreting or 24-hour interpreting for a patient. What if a patient wakes up in the middle of the night in pain and they can't tell you where the pain is coming from? And you think it's coming from his knee, but it might be his back, his sciatic nerve, or so, you know what I mean?
I really appreciate the emphasis on sort of lifelong learning. It's like we can always keep learning. We can always do more than what we're doing. It's like this feeling of don't be satisfied and pat yourself on the back and be like, all right, we did it.
Yeah, always more.
Yes.
Yes, I'm having this event, and my partner, she's like, "Yeah, we're doing it." I'm like, "No. We still have to do all of this. We had to go out yesterday and shoot some videos for another commercial we want to do. Little advertising." It's like, no, we're not done. We didn't sell all the tickets yet. We didn't get the people yet. We still have to solidify it. There's so much. Even after this event, it's a success. It's okay. What's the next thing?
Yeah. But it is still good to kind of take a step back and appreciate and be proud of the things that you have done and you have accomplished, because, it's like that passion that's driving you. It's like, that's what makes the work not feel so much like work. Yeah. And I just hope that I see that passion in you. And
yeah, this isn't work at all. So
yeah. Same here. It's like, that's why I work full time as a clinician. I do research, I'm academic, but it's like, I still have a little YouTube channel that I like to.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Every once in a while. I just can't stop myself. It's been so fantastic chatting with you and connecting. I love just getting to know more about you and the work that you're doing. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
If you ever in the future want to break down some ASL interpretation, like a halftime show or a movie or something, I'd love to have you on again.
Sure. You pick up the topic, I'll support it. I'm supporting you just as much as you support us. Thank you.
That's so kind. One thing that I've really loved doing for the past few years, I have some friends who are low vision or blind, and we've watched Jordan Peele's movies, Get Out, Nope, Us, and we've broken down the audio description that's available for the low vision community. And so I think it'd be really cool if you wanted to do an ASL movie breakdown and see how they might compare to the audio description, or I don't know. We can brainstorm some stuff.
We could brainstorm some stuff. That's a different audio vision is descriptive. Very my shirt, my beard, my bald head, how my ears might stick out. We can do that. That'll be fun. We can do that.
Yeah, we'll come up with a way to make it fun. That's what it's supposed to be.
I'm Hossein. I have a blue shirt on, sitting in front of a white background. Beard, bald head, fair-skinned guy.
If you want to hear more conversations like this, hit that like button and subscribe to This Ability Clinic for more accessible and entertaining education. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and learning.
Watching. Listening. Never use your ears talking to the deaf community. We don't hear. Listening. Put it on your eye.
Listening.
Listen. No. You see this thumb? On your eye.
Listening.
Yeah. So you might see somebody like, oh, he's catching it good, Oh, wow. They're really seeing it. It's like see, but you put your thumb because it's coming to you.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You're getting it because it's coming. Watching, listening,
and learning.
Learning is perfect.
I got that part. I knew this could be better, so I really, really appreciate your guidance.
Because they'll say something like, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like sometimes turns of phrases are just turns of phrases, but then it's always that default of I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I want to minimize that possibility at any point. If you want to hear more conversations like this, hit that like button and subscribe to This Ability Clinic for more accessible and entertaining education. Also, check us out on Patreon and check out the links in the description for more awesome content and resources. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and learning. See you next time.
Nice.
We did it.
Captain Wawa, Stargate Law, don't care. Pandemic, I'm in loose in air. Where's my flair? That's your math, back that year. Stay back.